All right, here we are, hole number 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the Cataclysm much better for this hole. Other thing, I'm also going to top spin, kind of left spin, kind of play the wind a little bit. And I'm thinking I'll be able to go relatively full here. Probably want to take off just a little bit. I'm thinking something along the lines of this. And almost 8 rings here. Now if I get a 12 wind, I may just be able to just go full. But I am going to just come in just a little bit on this. Do keep in mind things like your wind effect. It's going to alter this shot. You can see it looks like it's coming up there good. Getting it full ball, you do probably have to worry about that rough edge. However, with, a POC 6 and say a 12.3, you probably won't have to worry about running that through. One of the things that you'll see that I brought is Cataclysm. It's going to make this second shot easier. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is try to get that second shot up here as far as possible. This is actually a tough wind angle. It's actually kind of the opposite of what they usually do. The other one's typically a lot easier. This one's going to really make things tough because you'll see that the way that the wind typically is our adjustment will be playing against the grain on this rough block here. Now we're going to be going with it. So we almost have to worry about landing on this rough edge with this wind, which is going to require some curl. So I'm going to try to do this kind of spin. You can see with what I'm doing here. And we're going to be landing somewhere over here, which is going to require some curl. So I'm thinking 7, 8 rings. You can see, maybe about 8 rings down, we're going to be landing over here. And again, I may take in just a little bit of power. I really don't want to challenge that bunker too much. So I'm just going to try to gently get it up here and not try to risk putting it in that sand. And one of the things that you'll see that's probably a pretty good ball is a 3-point ball. So it's almost like that was a well-timed ball to come out because it's really going to keep that distance on for this shot. And then for the second shot, you'll be able to get that up with a little bit more ease because you won't have to worry about such a large wind. So it looks like with my opponent's aggressive drive, you can see he could land just a little bit more north of mine. So if you are able to get that right up to that last little bit, it really does put you in a good way. Now I'm going to go through 2 shots. We'll do a B52 shot. We're also going to play this one with a Hornet as well. Now a lot of times what I'll do is I'll try to play wind effect and maybe about 2, well, sometimes 2 backspin gives you a weird rollout, so you got to be a little bit cautious because you want to make sure that this doesn't come in too hot. So I'm thinking something along the lines of this, and you can see that I'm just kind of bouncing my ball guide kind of on the hole. And if I land up here, I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 12, 13 rings, which is an overplay. That was almost 13 rings there. Probably like 12.8. Let's just see how this comes in. It's a little bit, you can see everything kind of looked okay. I started my ball guide over there and it just kind of got to the other side. But my third bounce was pretty close to where I was trying to aim. So you can see it does require a little bit of an overplay. You got to master that ball guide offset with that shot. The other shot that we're going to do is we're going to do a long iron shot and just try to utilize this slope. So both you should be able to figure out how to master. Good opportunities either way. Biggest thing that you'll have to worry about is wind effect. So with the B52 shot, it's going to be better for you to get it up towards min club. So we're going to try to get our drive kind of aggressive like we just did, but maybe try to stop it right near the front of the bunker just to really get it at that min club. You can see my opponent here doesn't really factor in wind effect too well. It's going to be tough to play a Nirvana like that because it does get up high and have a lot of wind effect, much more so than a long iron does. So with that being said, you can't really put that ball guide on the hole and then just overplay it. It's probably, the ball guide's going to change too much. So it's really tough to do it that way, especially into a headwind, because it's really going to condense down that ball guide. So it makes it a tough wind to try to do that. It'll be a little bit easier to get that with, B52 like that at min club, because it won't quite go up as high and kind of stay out of that wind just a little bit more. Now Nirvana would, be a really good club towards, say, like mid club or quarter club. It would stay very low in those situations. But the more that it kind of gets 3/4, 2/3, it really starts getting that nice high shot arc, and you really are going to have some ball guide compression in those cases. So good luck with that hole. Be on the lookout for my other guide. I'm going to do it one more playthrough, kind of a little bit different. So, keep that in mind, and I will see you guys on the next one.